Vegetables are one of the rare foods that are universally recognized as healthy, no matter the diet. They have a huge amount of health benefits and really should always have a spot on our plate. But the problem is, some people don't like vegetables. In fact, some people hate vegetables. Whether it's the texture, the taste, they don't know how to cook them, or anything like that, they just don't feel like eating vegetables. But thankfully, there are a few ways to eat healthy even if you hate vegetables. First of all, you need to figure out what you do like. So it's super important to remember that there are a ton of different vegetables that exist. Just because you don't like one of them doesn't mean you don't like all of them. Chances are you haven't tried a lot of them for a long time and you're just basing this off of your last childhood memory of broccoli, for instance. I mean, there's bound to be one vegetable that you like, or at least that you tolerate more than others. So I really encourage you to try vegetables and try again and keep on trying. You can start out with vegetables that are commonly liked, such as carrots, green beans, cucumbers, broccoli, avocado, and tomatoes. And yes, I know that they are fruit, but they are generally consumed as vegetables. Like, you wouldn't have a fruit salad with tomato and avocado. The vegetables I just mentioned aren't as bitter as others, and this is good for people who have the bitter gene, which means that they are more sensitive to bitterness in vegetables than others. Basically, they taste a certain chemical in vegetables that other people can't taste, and this is why they really don't like them. And if you're interested in the sources for that, they are in my blog post. So when you try out different vegetables, there's a chance that you'll find one that you like. And once you do, make sure to hold on tight to that one and have it all the time. Just kidding, not all the time, but like pretty frequently. Sorry for these constant light changes. But if you don't find vegetables that you like, don't give up just yet, because the way you cook them and prepare them can have a huge difference. For instance, if you hate vegetables because you remember eating microwaved Brussels sprouts or raw broccoli, then of course, I would hate vegetables too in that case. Try to roast the veggies in your oven, try to cook them wok style, try to steam them. You know, there's lots of different ways to cook veggies that you can experiment with. For example, I only really enjoy broccoli when it has been steamed so much that it can be all mushed up. And I know some people only like it when it's super raw and super green, so everybody's tastes are different. There are also tons of different things that you can add to veggies to spice them up, like spices, but I just like to add even some salt, pepper, and olive oil, and it really makes a huge difference. So if there are some spices and condiments that you like, don't hesitate to experiment with them, and they may actually really change the taste of the veggie you hate. It may also be a good idea to whip up a little sauce to dip your veggies in, as long as of course they aren't drowned in it, but it's still better to have veggies with sauce than no veggies at all. And my personal favorite sauce is a curry coconut milk sauce. So good. Now here's how to sneak in veggies as much as you can. If these tips just aren't doing the trick for you, here are some ways that you can sneak in vegetables into your meals. A good way to do it is to sneak veggies into your smoothies. For instance, if you add spinach or kale to your smoothie, you will get a ton of nutrients, but it won't even change the taste. It'll change the color, but not the taste. Another thing you can do is to slide in those veggies into your sandwiches. Try to slide in little tomato slices, cucumber slices, lettuce, onions. Start small and then gradually build it up. And if you add a ton of other stuff to your sandwich, you won't even be able to taste the veggies. Also, you can mix veggies into your meals. There are actually a ton of ideas for this, and there's a link to a blog post that has tons of ideas in my blog post in the description. Hope that made sense. For instance, you can mix spiral zucchini with your pasta. You can add some diced carrots or diced tomatoes into your meatballs or your mock meat meatballs. You can add onions to any dish, basically. You can add some squash to your mac and cheese. You can get really creative and make up a ton of recipes that have veggies that you can't even taste. Another good idea to sneak in veggies is to turn them into soup or to juice them. For some people, the taste isn't the worst thing about veggies, and it's really just the texture. So it's really easy to get rid of that aspect if you turn the veggies into soup. Make sure to put your favorite ingredients and the soup with the veggies, so the veggies aren't too overpowering, and you can add tons of spices there as well. And you can also get a juicer to extract the juice and the nutrients from the veggies, but careful because you'll still be missing out on the good fiber. And finally, another way to sneak in your veggies is to dip them in sauce. I mean, dip them in dips like hummus, like yogurt, like guacamole, which is technically a fruit. But really any dip that you enjoy. Like I said previously, it's better to have veggies in dips and sauces than no veggies at all. How to get your nutrients from other sources. Now, if you've tried all of these tips and just still can't eat vegetables, you need to be getting the vegetables, you need to be getting the nutrients that you find in vegetables from other sources. And the first and easiest way to do that is to have more fruit. Fruit and vegetables have very similar benefits, and actually they're often grouped together in studies when their benefits are studied. So personally, I really like to have a fruit with every meal, and if I know that I'm not getting any vegetables in that meal, then I add another portion of fruit. Also, starchy vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, peas, corn, butternut, they are often more appreciated by most people than non-starchy vegetables, so really make sure to fill up on those if you enjoy them. And no, French fries do not count. Legumes such as lentils, beans, and chickpeas also contain a bunch of nutrients and fiber that are found in vegetables, so make sure to have a nice spot for them on your plate as well. Now here are a few specific nutrients that are found in vegetables and where you can find them in other foods. Fiber is found in vegetables, but it can also be found in fruit and in whole wheat foods. And if you're interested in learning more about high fiber foods, then you can check out the video I made about that here. Folates, or vitamin B9, are found in asparagus, spinach, broccoli, or avocados. They can also be found in lentils, mangoes, sweet corn, or oranges. Vitamin C, found in vegetables such as broccoli and bell pepper, can be found in fruit such as oranges, kiwis, cantaloupe, grapefruit, and strawberries. Vitamin E, found in avocados, spinach, or broccoli, can also be found in olive oil, almonds, kiwi, or sunflower seeds. Vitamin K, found in leafy green vegetables, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts, can also be found in kiwis, prunes, and blueberries. Carotenoids, which is a source of vitamin A, can be found in tomatoes, carrots, peppers, asparagus, pumpkin, and sweet potatoes. But it can also be found in peaches, pink grapefruit, apricots, mangoes, and watermelon. Potassium is found in beet greens, avocados, white button mushrooms, and tomatoes, and can also be found in potatoes, bananas, white beans, and salmon. Magnesium is found in spinach, lima beans, or avocados, and it can also be found in bananas, tuna, dark chocolate, almonds, or brown rice. You can also watch this video, which tells you which foods are high in antioxidants, apart from vegetables. Some final tips. Here are a few tips to maximize your vegetable intake, even if you don't like vegetables. Buy some pre-cut or frozen or canned veggies. This works so much for me. I actually enjoy most vegetables, but I'm just too lazy to cut them, like peel them, cut them, cook them. It's just too much work. And I find that when I get frozen or canned or pre-cut veggies, or like pre-cut them and then have them stored for the week, I'm much more likely to have more veggies. And on that note, I really encourage meal prepping. You can just single out a day where you do all of your veggie peeling and cutting and put that into your fridge or freezer. And you're much more likely to eat veggies if everything is already all prepared than if you have to go through all that hassle to eat them. I also suggest writing a meal plan and make sure that you include vegetables in those meals and that you stick to those meals. Because obviously if you haven't planned out your meals and you're starving, you're not gonna decide to eat like a little tiny plate of asparagus. That's not the first thing that's gonna come to mind. But if you have your meals planned out and they all include some vegetables in them, then you're much more likely to actually follow it. Also, just in case that wasn't clear, I'm not saying you should have only a tiny plate of asparagus when you're super hungry after a long day, not at all. Have what you enjoy and something that is filling and healthy, but it's also good to add in some veggies in there. That's just what I meant. Another tip is to really keep on trying. You might not like vegetables when you first try them, but you need to keep exposing yourself to them, and most likely your taste buds will get used to veggies. I mean, at least some veggies. It's fine if there's some that you don't like. Keep on trying different types of veggies and have them in different combinations. You never know. Like, something weird with me is that I don't like both endives and honey, but when paired together, I actually really like it. So sometimes it's super weird. Just make sure you keep on trying. And finally, like I've been saying, you don't have to like everything. You don't have to force yourself to like every single vegetables. If you find at least a few veggies that you can have and not like want to gag, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you have them often and that you include them in a lot of meals. Vegetables have many great health benefits, but not everybody likes them. If this is your case, make sure that you're still trying different kinds of veggies regularly. Make sure that you're trying them in different recipes, with different condiments, different sauces, different spices, and also make sure that you always have some frozen veggies or canned veggies or pre-cut veggies so that you have more chances of consuming them. And if none of these things work for you, then you can always get most of the nutrients found in veggies from different sources. Some sources include fruit, legumes, whole wheat foods, nuts. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like it and subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye.